I said I would share with you I will share with you the 5 elements, right? The 5 elements. Right? Yes. Okay. Embodying the 5 elements. People and cultures. I'm reading from this book, The Healing Wisdom of Africa, from Malidoma Patrice Some. As we know, he's in the other world with the ancestors, right? He transitioned on December 9th, 2021. He's in the spirit realm now. And I know he's at peace. I know he's at peace, also knowing that the teachings that he labored so hard to leave us with are not in vain. Right? That we are carrying on the torch and teaching and sharing this wisdom from Africa, the healing wisdom of Africa, that we should never be, able to quench, like, that thirst for knowledge and wisdom from Africa. We never supposed to have enough, because it's an endless well of wisdom that comes from Africa. And when we give up and we start looking to other people's ways and moving away from indigenous ways like we have done, we're dead. When we question certain things, right? That came to me this morning. I said, who have we been following if we have not been seeking the wisdom from Africa? I mean, whose ways have we been following? There were people that was following us, that was stealing from us, that saw us as precious. So precious that they were willing to risk us all dying off on that voyage. Like, oh God, I got to get them. They're so precious. I don't care. Oh, if we just get one. That's how precious we were. Like, oh, we got to get them. We got to take all of them. We want to take them all. We want to get all of them. Oh my God. So there was a time, and even still now, people saw just how precious you were. And then when you stop seeking your own knowledge, whose knowledge are you taking in? But anyway, I'm going into something else, right? But that's what came to my spirit, so I just kind of went with it. Because it's important that you understand what you possess, right? What you possess and what's going on inside of you, what you're going through. So I love this chapter here, embodying the 5 elements. Look at this. No one can be just one element without the presence of the other 4. So there are 5 elements: fire, water, earth, mineral, and nature. Right? This is what I was led to, this chapter this morning when I woke up this morning. As some people said, the Spirit led you. Well, the ancestors led me to this chapter this morning. Right? As I woke up, and then I was just like, wow. And then I was giving thanks, and I wept because of this wisdom here that I didn't know. But look at this. Your essence is your genius. Your destiny is to allow your genius to come out wrapped in colors of your character. Right? A person with vision and passion, who is always active and involved in countless activities, embodies fire. So we're going to talk about the element of fire. Those people with the element of fire that's prominent in them. Fire is the original element of origin, the one that was present at the beginning. Its primal nature is combustion, warmth, vision, and feeling. Its position in the wheel is the south, the underworld, and its color is red. Isn't that powerful? I used to be obsessed with red when I was a kid. Didn't understand red shoes, red pants, red shirt, red cardigan, red, 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 red. And you do certain things and you don't even understand why am I like this, right? Follow me though. It is the state to which everything eventually turns. The state the ancestors are in. So red embodies the underworld, the land of our ancestors, right? So this is the state in which we will always, all of us will one day eventually return. Look at this. As we walk, I have my own inward chuckle. It's a happiness of getting this wisdom and this food. It just brings me joy because it's a lot of things that embodies my laugh, right? It's not so this anyway. As we walk the earth, we are warmed by the heat of the ancestors coming from the underworld below us. So will you walk differently with this? Walk differently. Look at this. Fire opens the doorway to the spirit world and allows our psyche to commune with other life, present, past, and future. Fire is like a connecting rod, an open channel. In fact, fire is our psyche, the spirit part of us that knows what has always been. It is our ability to act, emote, and intuit. A person on fire is craving a connection. In this person, fire is translated into restlessness, a great deal of emotion, and strong dream experience. Is this beyond powerful revelation? How many of us, right, are restless? How many of us, right, have like strong dreams, right? And it's like you're intuitive. How many of us crave a connection? Connection with our people, with our origin. To know who we are. Connection with Africa. I got to take a sip of this. This is my concoction. Some people just started doing certain things just because COVID. I've been doing things and drinking certain things and since I was a young woman. So I get a head start on things. But the thing is, fire. This is a powerful element, right? I felt like this was me because I know I've been restless. People call it unstable. They try to identify it as like you're never satisfied. You're unstable. You're all over the place. No, I'm restless for a reason. It's like your spirit knows you were supposed to be somewhere else or you need to be somewhere else, right? So, and then to know that the color for fire is red. And I used to love red. It said, as you walk the earth, you are warmed by the heat of your ancestors coming from the underworld below you. I love to know. They always say, let your ancestors be your guide. Right? But to know that they have really been below us, under the earth, they're still there. Right? Fire is your psyche, the spirit part of us that knows what has always been. You know, some things you have never heard. You have never been taught. Right? But you know, innately, intuitively, you know. You just know, right? But then there is a restlessness, a great deal of emotion, and you have a strong dream experience. I dream all the time. I've always been a dreamer, to the point that sometimes I tell my mom, I used to tell her, Mommy, I had a dream about so-and-so, and I have some really powerful dreams. And she got to a point where she would say, I don't want to know. She would say, I don't want to know. No, that's okay. And there's some people that I have dreams about that I was spiritually connected to, not necessarily still in contact with people. I mean, to tell you, let me give you one example. I had said something to a friend of mine, a woman, that was something that I saw. I didn't know how to really put it into words, what I saw, but it didn't come out right. It was a friend of mine. I was concerned about her from what I saw. And she got really upset, and she said, you know, you said this to hurt me. And, you know, matter of fact, I had first said, no, I don't know how to say this, so I'm not going to say anything at all. And she pushed me and said, tell me, I want to know. So I went and told her in the best way I could, and you know what? It offended her. And the words in English would not present my concern in a way where she could receive it. So the words I used caused offense. It caused offense. Something I couldn't take back. But anyway, she stopped speaking to me. And years later, I had like her on my mind, like heavy. I dreamt her. And I'm like, I don't even understand why I'm dreaming her. So our mutual friend, I said, reach out to her, please reach out to her. Because me and my history with dreams, I said, reach out to her. See if she's okay. So our mutual friend reached out to her, sent her a text, and showed, forwarded my text to her. And she says, oh, is this from Regina? And she says, yes. And she says, oh, I'm here in England. My father passed away. So I said, oh, so that's what it was. Her father passed away. And I know how she loved her dad. And then it's amazing, though, because after that dream, I never dreamt her again. Right? So sometimes you have the element of fire. All of us embody one spirit, but sometimes you have the strong element of fire going through you. Right? The fire person is someone with an eye to the world of the ancestors and the spirit. He or she is in charge of the gateway between this world and the other, the ancestral world. This person understands dream imagery and can translate and interpret dream images to people. The fire person lives at the edge between human culture and ancestral culture. His or her task is to go back and forth between the two worlds. They are not part of the common people who fit well into their culture. They are not part of the common people who fit well into their culture. They can see the culture from the perspective of the world of the spirit. Similarly, people who feel at the margin of their culture may be dealing with the fire of their culture. They cannot quite fit in. And other people have problems understanding why they won't behave like everybody else. The fire person is often misunderstood by contemporaries because, with respect to this world, a fire person lives in the future and therefore finds the average person too slow. His or her behavior can be seen by the average person as impatient, hyperactive, and sometimes intolerant. A fire person cannot stay idle. However, his or her fire may be translated into a warm, gentle flame that keeps a whole village, community, town, or culture aware of its vital relationship with other worlds. If a person or culture forgets its crucial relationship with other worlds, that is, with the ancestors, a fire is ignited that becomes a destructive force in society. When that happens, a person or a culture suddenly perceives almost everything in terms of fire. Fire becomes equated with power, speed, hierarchy, and value. All this is symptomatic of a culture in combustion. You're about to bust. You're about to explode. When one's culture is burning, it is impossible to sit still and keep focused, right? Like a ball of fire moving at high speed, a culture on fire is fascinated with speed, all right? This speed shows up as horsepower on the surface, but deep within it is orchestrated by combustion. It's about to bust, right? The burning within is symptomatic of some kind of crisis that drives people to remain endlessly on fire, right? So this is serious. When a culture is caught in fire, its people's perception of the world is red, as they rush ceaselessly forward with a consumer's mentality. They pollute everything in their way, conquering and destroying anything that interferes. Fire culture promotes consumerism and cultivates scarcity in order to increase restlessness, then uses the restless, burning psyche as energy to increase production and consumption. This is what we're going through right now. Meanwhile, the culture on fire is fascinated by violence. As a matter of fact, violence proves to be highly marketable and stimulates the fiery nature of the culture as a whole. Consequently, a fire culture is a war culture. It sees solutions in terms of fire and conflicts as fire that can be resolved with more fire. Such a culture will require a lot of water to heal. You know, I love this elder. Oh God, get his book, please. I'm not getting any royalties from his book. I have no discount code. I have no, because I'm getting so much food from the wisdom in this book. I don't need any royalties. I don't need any, what you call it? Yeah, what they got it? Affiliate marketing and all of that. I don't need any of that, right? Because I'm just so blessed by this wisdom, right? Because I always said, when someone brings a fire, I'm not going to bring the gasoline. I want to be the water that out the fire. I said that. So this is what I'm saying about wisdom from Africa. There's some things that happen inside of you that are going on inside of you. You don't even understand. But if you don't seek wisdom from true elders, not just because they got old and they got some gray hairs, they're elder, right? You know, it's like I made this speech. I didn't even understand the path I was on, what I was doing. But I know I have always done certain things, right? But when I made this speech and I was talking about elders, before I really understood the depths of what elders meant, because I didn't really understand the depths from reading, right? But just my spirit knew. And I remember telling the people that, you know, just because you become old doesn't make you an elder. You know, like you have to be someone who, and I did not even understand, you have to be someone that is respected, that the children come to for guidance, and I didn't understand it until I read again just this year. Now, I made that speech years ago, but when he talked about elders in the West, he said elders also appear as people who have profoundly changed the lives of others through their teachings or writing. In the best scenario, these teachers are able to help those who search for guidance and leadership in their lives. You know? It's like, really? So, you know, there's so much for us to learn. If the people in the West embrace the idea that the elder is at the edge between two worlds and is therefore a window to the other world as well as a mirror of it, certain of the West's social problems would be solved. One of them is the rejection of the aging and the elders, which puts the culture at risk. The other is the West's relationship to the sacred. So we are devoid of the sacred. We are at risk following someone else's ways to damnation and destruction. Right? So when people have you reading just a certain book for wisdom and knowledge, right, you have to pick up books like this, The Healing Wisdom of Africa, to understand where certain things came from. So sometimes I go off in a tangent in this thing because I get so excited with the things that I uncovered in his book. And so the next element that I'm going to present to you is water. This is all that came to me this morning, and this is how the ancestor said to me, you're going to present it like this, you're going to present it like this, and you're going to present it like this and this and this. And by the time I get to the fifth element of earth, you will understand more about why you do the things you do. Why do you think the way you think? You know, what is this that's going on inside of me? Because some of us don't know and don't understand, don't even know where to search. You know, we're just trying to navigate and find our way. You know, we're trying to find our way. But by the time I get to the fifth element, correction, the fifth element is nature, right? So the 5 elements of fire, water, earth, mineral, and nature. By the time I get to the nature, you would see more of yourself and why you do the things you do, right? To know that this is something that when someone tries to present it to you and say this is life and this is how it is, you'll be like, you know what? This is how my people knew this wisdom way before this was presented to me. There is nothing that you're going to learn in this lifetime that did not begin in Africa first. There is nothing that you're going to hear, no kind of wisdom that you're going to hear that did not begin in Africa first. There is no aha that's going to come to you in this life that has not come from Africa first. So there's things that you're going to receive and you're going to be like, I knew that. Because it's already in you. It's already in you. So it's going to click. Right? It's going to click. So let us take this journey. You know, let's take this journey. It's not that many of us left, which is a sad time. Because when you shut the door to your ancestors and you shut the door to the wisdom, and no one ever wants to, doesn't no longer want to listen. My voice is cracking, right? Because I'm sad. But when you shut the door to the elders and to the ancestors, and you no longer want to listen, and you no longer want to hear the messages that they want to impart unto you to save a dying people, then we're in trouble. It's not about trying to keep up with modernization. Because if we get this right, if we get back on course, everyone will follow suit. And don't think they're not waiting on you. Contrary to how it appears, they are waiting on us. And we're chasing them, and they're waiting on us. And the ancestors are waiting most of all to impart. So the next element is going to be water. And I hope you're open to hear that. So peace and love. Yes.